Going on, family? It's brother Coasty at IALLG.com, and today's conversation is all about interacting with people and ideas. Okay, so most people like to ask questions to other people. Look, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but I have a different way of viewing these things. I like to analyze words themselves and really see what they're saying. So the paradigm that I want to introduce to you today, and again, it's up to you to either challenge or accept, and we'll go over that, is going over the difference between questions and challenges, okay? Externally, any new idea, any new presentation, you're either going to challenge it or you're going to accept it. Anything external, you're either challenging it or you're accepting it. That's it, family. You don't ask questions externally. And I'm going to go into that in just a moment. But when you're dealing with yourself, that's when you propose questions. You propose questions to yourself. You can propose someone to question their idea, but you yourself do not propose a question to an idea themselves. You propose it to somebody else, or rather you recommend them question their own idea. And I'm going to break that down why I view the world this way. Challenging or accepting, those are the only two options. Challenging is to go against or at least basically verify or present a counter idea, right? Similar to a debate. Debates are not bad things, family. Debates are not bad. Either you're debating or you're accepting. And a debate is a conversation that's aimed at producing a desired result for both parties. Either it's a win-win, sometimes it's win-lose, and sometimes it's lose-lose. It shouldn't be lose-lose. You should always either have win-win, win-lose, or a draw, where both parties are just, they go their separate ways. And the reason for this and understanding it, that's all challenging is. And look, family, I know you might be saying, bro, what? I'm going to talk about it. Challenging. This is for the external world. Right? There's an idea here. And this is your mind. You can either have it enter your mind by accepting it, or you bring up your wall, which is challenging. This is key, family. You need to challenge everything. And the reason for this is it allows you the opportunity to become skeptical. Skepticism is not a bad thing. Skepticism is using your discernment. It's analyzing things in a proper manner, so that you begin to control what enters into your mind. Recognize this, family. An idea that enters into your mind will get planted into your subconscious some way, some form, some shape, somehow. That's just the nature of it, because your brain is always pulling in information. And if you don't challenge it, you're letting anything and everything flow into the mind. You then become manipulated, controlled, or you might not notice it, but you will become subconsciously driven by other people's desires. That's where a lot of this society is based on, right? Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to be cool. And the idea of fitting in and cool is subjective to the person, but they don't decide most of the time what's cool and what groups they want to fit in. They follow the crowd. And so they don't ever challenge, they merely accept. And sometimes and I guess we'll dive into this for just a moment. Challenging is halting the thought, thinking about it, digesting it, and then making a conscious decision whether you agree with it or not. Challenging is not like this overtly like, get out the way. Because if you do that, you really didn't most likely push it out the way. You probably pushed it deeper into your mind because you didn't process it. You have to process everything, and challenging is the idea, in my view. Challenging is the conscious processing of information. Okay? It's the conscious processing of information. I got to dive into this for just a moment. I didn't plan on it, but it just came to me. Most of the time, we're not processing information. That's why we have trauma. That's why we have tension. That's why we have discontent. That's why we get burnt out. It's because we have all these things loaded up on us, and we keep trying to suppress it, or we try to ignore it, or we try to push it out and do whatever we're going to do with it instead of processing it. And processing it is accepting it, it's observing it, it's analyzing it, and allowing it to go through. right? And you get to choose where it's going to go. Either it's going to go in the recycle bin, trash bin, or it's going to go into your programming. And if you don't process it, automatically goes into your programming. You just don't notice it. And some of those things that we don't process come up in the forms of knots, tension, tightness, anxiety, trauma, right? So again, externally, we either challenge it or accept it. It needs to go through the challenge process first so you can either accept or reject. You only do this externally. Internally, though, you ask questions. And the reason why I say this, the only thing that you do internally is because when we look at question, we break it down. Quest in. Quest in. That's what a question is. You propose a question to somebody else so that they can go on a quest inside. It's not for them to answer. When they're answering, it's really them questing within themselves, and then you're presented with the opportunity to challenge. But you yourself must begin to question everything that you already believe so that you can go on a quest inside yourself. This is the process of growth. This is the process of getting clarity and a deeper understanding of you and how you move and operate in the world. So family, questioning is an internal pursuit. It is not something that you need to be doing externally all the time unless you're proposing somebody question themselves so that you can get the idea and you can challenge it to either accept or deny it. But family, that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this helped you in some way, some shape, some form, somehow. Challenge everything. Question yourself. Family, this is the power. You get to create your reality with your thoughts in your mind. Peace.